Hello to Able Cloud clients and anybody watching our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Today's session is a promise vlog I told my clients about, where we are leveraging the Salesforce for Outlook side panel in Outlook, obviously, to better log time from our calendar, from our inbox, as well as provide more detailed case management. So some of you are saying, hey, yeah, I have the Outlook Connect panel and I have the create case from email. That's all well and good. However, our Salesforce, like yours, is probably much more sophisticated. It has lookups on your objects and details that you need to fill in to associate the email or the calendar invite to the right record and fill in all the necessary blanks that you have as required fields on your records. So the example I'm going to provide through this vlog is a calendar invite that I need to log as a timesheet entry. So a lot of you, hopefully your wheels are turning and you're saying, oh, timesheets are a nightmare. We don't probably recognize all the time that we spend on our projects. How do we do this better? And I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but I'm leveraging the quick actions functionality and global actions. They're kind of the same thing, kind of not, with the Salesforce side panel, so we can log timesheets without ever having to log into Salesforce. So here's the example. Bear with me for a second. I'm going to show you my Outlook inbox, and it's pretty ugly, okay? So don't make fun of me. All right, so I just got an email from my friend Gary. Hi, Gary, if you're watching this, that he got a new job with Cognizant. Anyway, so this is how the side panel works. I'm in my inbox on an email. My side panel says, hey, that email address matches the email address for a contact you have in the system. All well and good. Great. See this plus sign up here? This is what is quick actions. So Able Cloud configured its quick actions to recognize new opportunities, create new contacts, which you could do already. But then also we have our unique timesheet entry object. So even though this isn't a true timesheet entry, I'm going to click on that. I have 5, 6 different record types for timesheets. So each quick action is tied to a unique time entry record type. So the fields that are displayed here in my side panel align with the fields that are required for that particular record type. Now, that sounds cool, and most of you can probably keep up with that. Here's where it gets really interesting, and it really makes for efficient data entry and good data quality. When I am, so on my timesheet, and I know I don't think this is over-engineered. This is actually good engineering. It's just a lot for a user. On our timesheet entries, we have a lookup to the contract that the time entry belongs to. And this is where most of you probably say this is overkill, but we go so far as to say that time entry must be tied to a pending invoice. So an invoice that is in draft status, and it's going to go out that next month. So in our side panel, we have to say, okay, what contract does this belong to? I'm just going to arbitrarily pick the first one in the list. I could search that, by the way. If I didn't see it in the recent records, in that drop down that you see, I could look for, let's say, Mamtech. Oh, sorry. Their contract is actually Kansas is in the title. Yeah, I spelled Kansas wrong. Okay, so there's Kansas. I could search and find the record that I need if it's not readily available right there. So I think SciTech was the first one on there. Fine, I'll pick SciTech. Now, I have on my timesheet entry record a filtered lookup. So what that means is once I've picked SciTech and I go to the invoice field, it's only going to present me with, based on my filter, the invoice has to belong to SciTech, and the invoice has to be in draft mode. The status has to equal draft. So the beautiful thing about this side panel is that your filtered lookups are working real time and you haven't saved the record yet. And you're in Outlook. So I don't know how many of you are like get excited about this as like I do. But anyway, I can't pick the wrong invoice is basically what it comes down to. Remove as many barriers for your clients to do things or your users to do things wrong. Okay. So let's say this is a legitimate timesheet entry. It's from 1/26. I'll pick that date. How much time was it? Let's say it was a half hour. The reason that I have timesheets coming from emails, by the way, is that some of my emails to you guys, you know that I have to go investigate the issue. I give you screenshots of what's going on, what my recommendations are, what the issue was that was resolved, etc. So that's why I sometimes create timesheets from emails. It doesn't even matter what record you're creating. It's the point. And then I could say, what is this about? Blah, blah, blah. And it's billable. And I could just save the record. Hello. Save the record. So now I'm going to log into Salesforce and show you what that looks like. I'm on the SciTech account. I'm going to reload. Yeah, I know my Lightning pages aren't really that pretty yet because I'm still working on it. And as a sidebar, if you are taking the Lightning pages that Salesforce gives you, you don't realize what you're missing because the default pages are pretty ugly. And all right, so here's that new timesheet entry. I know it because of the date 1/26. And it's a half hour, blah, blah, blah. So it's in there. I didn't have to actually log into Salesforce to create that timesheet entry. So I'm going to go back to, and don't worry, SciTech, if you're watching, I'm going to delete that timesheet. The other most important thing for all of us that do have timesheets and we're Outlook children like me, I send all of my invites from my Outlook calendar. I don't use Salesforce calendaring, various reasons why not. So let's say I left off doing my timesheets on the 16th. That's when I left for the Bahamas. Let's see here. I had a Salesforce demo apparently on the 17th. Who was this with? Let me open this up. Okay. So that was with a new client that just came on board. So I'm in my Outlook calendar. Again, I have my Salesforce quick actions over here. I can create a timesheet entry. Hallelujah, right? That's a quick action. For those of you who want to know in Salesforce, what am I doing? What's under the hood? How is she configuring that plus symbol over there? It is not easy to find. And I was using this before, but I just never really realized how I could be leveraging it better. So if you're in setup, search for actions. Things are so different in Lightning. But basically, you're looking for global actions. So I'm going to click on that. And you can create new actions. They give you some by default, but mine, I have so many record types in my org with unique fields required on each record type that I had to create all new quick actions. So you could create a new action. This is pretty cool. You create a record. That's the only one I've ever used. Create a record. You can identify the target, the object that's involved. So like mine, let's say it was a case, or well, I kept using timesheets, so let's do that. Time and expenses. What record type applies, right? And then you can label your button whatever you want. So in my case, I did prepaid time for invoice only, like that kind of stuff. You could label it. Once you save it, then you have to come to your publisher layout. So I'm pointing down in the lower left-hand corner. And this is where, let me think about this. Hold on. My quick action, publisher layout. How did I do that? Oh, sorry. Okay, so then you have to take care of once you do the button, you have to do the layout associated with the button. The layout is what you'll see in that side panel, okay? So here's my prepaid time for invoice only. I'm going to click on the layout. This is like a mini page layout that, of course, isn't on the mini page layout. It's under global actions. And here you can just put those quick fields that you know you need to appease that record type. And in my case, remember I talked about a filtered lookup. I have the support contract. That's the first field that I fill out. Once I fill that out, then my invoice is a dependent on that, and all the other fields are required. So each global action layout needs to support your actual record page layout, okay? You don't want to put every field on there, just the essential ones. So that's a lot to take in, but I wanted you guys to know how we were finally melding the idea that we continue to be Outlook children, we continue to work in our inbox and sent box, and we're doing a better job of logging our timesheets and creating cases as well. So for those of you that are still interested and still with me and can handle my inbox again, you may ask yourself, well, why is she not just using there's a button, I don't think I display it, of create case from email. Yeah, I don't have mine displayed, but you might. You could just create a case, and all it does is take the email and associate it with the person's email address, and that's okay, but once you have to go back into Salesforce, find the case, and associate it with the right contract or whatever else the case may be. Here, when I click new case from email, I'm tying it to the support contract and finding the contact. So I'm not just looking at web name, or if you're familiar with cases, it's actually associating the case with the contact record. So for what it's worth, I find that incredibly more valuable than just a default button. That's enough for a Friday. Feel free to call if you want this done for your org, or you just want to brainstorm about how we could do things better. Thanks, and take care.